Okay, just a real quick update. As you can see, the rear notch is not on the truck yet. The last video I posted, we discovered that the frame rails where I needed to make my connection, these will slide in to the front of the notch there. And the perimeter will get welded. I'm actually going to drill some holes and do some plug welds as well. But these were all rusted out. So, got the plates in, welded them from the inside. And then I welded it. I came back and I back gouged the weld, and then I welded it from the outside. So the next thing is this hole right here indexes to this slot right here. But I'm trying to figure out where I need to cut those stock frame horns off at. So what I did, this is the driver's side. I took a piece of cardboard and ran it in. Made myself a template. Okay. So that's the back of the truck. Slide that in, and that's gonna end up there. Okay. So this towards the back of the truck on the driver's side. We're gonna index that right there. Okay. And that is where I need to cut it. Need to cut it there and then square that up and come down the side and cut it off on the bottom. And that way, when I slide this all the way in, it'll butt against the back, rest against the back. That hole should line up. Both those holes are on, or the hole's on the same location on both sides. So it'll put me where I need to be. Once that's done and the notch is slid in all the way up, then I'll pull it back out. And then from here up to under the cab there, or right before we go into the cab, I am going to box this in. And I have some steel over here, some 1/4 inch standing up on end here that I'm gonna use to do that. So tonight I have I'm giving myself 2.5 hours out here in the shop tonight. The goal tonight is to get all that work done on the frame, get everything squared up. Once it's squared up, slide that on, make sure it fits, slide that off, and then after we're good to go there, make a template, which I got a piece of cardboard over there, make a template for the inside of the frame rails to box them, and if I could get that cut out, roughed out, the pieces to box it, if I get that roughed out, I'd be happy. So that's the goal tonight. That's a lot to do in a few hours or a couple hours, but we'll give her a go. So thanks for checking it out. I will, give you an update as we go here. All right, guys, we got a little bit of an update on the truck. Not too exciting yet, but it is test fitted. And, well, it was 6:30 when I started tonight, and it's 8:30, so it's... But good news is I got everything smoothed out here. Okay. She's welded fully. And I can see how this all goes together now, right? This is your alignment hole to get your distance. Still got to go in a scotch. And over here, still got to go in a scotch. but we are pretty darn close. It is all but level left to right and level front to back. In here, this is obviously the notch. This is what pieces I just put in, and then what I'm gonna do, what I originally was gonna do, was gonna box this whole side in, right, and slip it in here, and I was gonna weld the entire perimeter of this. But now, looking in here, so I can get more linear inches of weld, which means more holding power, I'm gonna weld there, across the top, and I don't know if I can get back there, but try to get that joint. Once all that is welded, then I think I'll still box this in, and the box will still be welded to this, but I'm gonna slide the box into here, okay? And once that's in there, I can weld that seam up, so it'll be tied in. I don't think we're gonna have any issues or any concerns. Plus, with this all stiffened and tied in, it should be pretty slick. So this is what you're looking at. I mean, this is initial mock-up. I had a question tonight. Now keep in mind, it was like 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, because I'm in Pennsylvania, and I had a question, so I made a short 30-second video. My question for the builder, which is Spencer Rydman, I was wondering if this needed to be, or if you wanted this, which I assumed it was, you want this level and running parallel to the bottom of the straight section of frame rail under the cab there. So if you got this set up, and that's why I set it up on blocks and got it level, it was like 0.3 degrees out. So, I mean, it was pretty damn close. And I got this is pretty darn close right now as well. So once I take this off again, clean everything up in here one more time, I'm going to trim a little bit more off, so these will slide up just, you know, another 1/4 of an inch. Yeah, probably another 1/4 of an inch. That's a 3/8 inch hole, maybe even an 1/8. This side's got to come up a little bit more. But once I have it level left to right and front to back, then since I don't have my cross member in, which was a bonehead move on me, I should have left it. I should have bolted it back in, and I'm running a Tinworks cross member, but I should have left it in. But once that's back in, I'll slip this notch back on for hopefully one final time. And once the notch is back on, I will pull some measurements from up maybe those bolt holes from the cross member up to some key spots on here. And at that point, I pray it's square. Pray it's square to the frame, which it should be square. I don't know. This top section on here bolts in, okay? This is 3/4 inch bolt heads. I don't know what actual size bolts they are, but what I'm getting at is there's 4 on each side. And where it sits right now, all those bolt holes lined up relatively well. So, it's it's got to be close to square, right? If we have to tweak it, I can probably pull it straight or pull it one way or another. Hopefully when I put that cross member in, because that's a bolt in, I can probably, shim it or cheat that way. But I think we're looking good. I'm pretty excited about it. So that's where we're at tonight. It's Thursday night, 8:34, and we are in, what the heck month is it? January 18th, I think, 2023. So nonetheless, we're making progress. So anyway, thanks for checking us out, or checking the build out. I guess I'm supposed to say subscribe, like, follow, all that stuff, but I honestly, this video, this is just for me, so don't feel obligated to do that. This video is just more or less for my documentation, and 20 years from now I can look back and be like, hey, that's when we did that. Anyway, excited to get this in. I am going to assemble everything that's bolt in, and then make sure everything's kosher and lined up. And then once it's no longer, or once I know everything's, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and pull everything back out again. And this is the way to do it, and to do it right. Pull everything back out again. And once it's back out, paint it, primer it, paint it, and put her back together. Next part I'm waiting on is a Boyd's tank. Okay. I'm gonna have to figure out, once the axle's under here, shock mounts. I have some no limit stuff that had shock mounts on it. There's the shocks there. So I can see if that could potentially work. I wouldn't see why it wouldn't. And I need to come up with a Watts link, which I believe I'm going to, actually no, I did. I already ordered it. I ordered a Watts link kit online. It's I think a generic one, so I'm hoping I can make it work. Should fit. And then the next thing is coming up and spending the $2,300 on an air ride management kit, and I'm going to go with airlift. I'm going to go with an airlift 3P. I'm going to do a single, I think it's a 10-gallon tank, and 2 480 compressors. And yeah, it's like $2,300. So I need to figure out too where I'm gonna mount the tanks, or mount the tank, the air tank. I don't know if I want it back here above the fuel tank like some guys do. I don't know if I want to hide it behind the seat in the cab. I know the compressors will be noisier in the cab, but I drive this truck. I hate all the road dirt and stuff getting on them. So maybe I'll build a box in the bed. I'm not sure yet, but I'd like to keep them out from underneath the truck. Anyway, thanks for checking it out. We're going to cut this at 10 minutes. See ya.